by saying hello. So I went into my vernacular, and my vernacular would say, pardon me if you hear Sotho, well done to you. He says, Ntata rona mahodimong lebitso la hao le kgethehe. Ho kgetheha means it's not to separate, but it is to pull it above everything else. So this is how Jesus teaches us to pray. He says, you must say his kingdom must come and must be done on earth as it is in heaven. First, before you even ask, acknowledge that what is done up there, please can you also do it in my life and on earth. And then he says, then you can say, give us our daily bread. Then you can ask for provision. Now that you've acknowledged who he is in your life and you know what he stands for, the omega of everything, the love beyond love. And then once you've said, provide for me, you need to go back and consider yourself. I always say, despite me, and say, forgive me, right? Forgive us our debts as we have forgiven the debtors. For you to get the daily bread, that verse is important that comes after. That's why I was saying, this week was quite spectacular for me because I had to read beyond what we normally read and say, okay, what comes after this? He says, okay, now you need to remember that you must ask for forgiveness, but the same measure that you forgive, you must remember is the same measure that you must get for forgiveness. So why don't you have a pure heart? Forgive fully, the same way he has forgiven us, and he was on the cross for us, and says, do not lead us into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For yours is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. Again, do not lead us into temptation. Quite important, because sometimes when we get the love and we experience God's glory, we tend to think it's our own doing. And this is where temptation comes, right? Because then you think, I can do it by myself. That alone is temptation, because you cannot do anything by yourselves. Because we just said here at the beginning, hallowed be thy name. So these are what I've been meditating on, and I hope, as we give today and as we sing and, as we worship today, we go back to beginning of where love is. Our Father who are in heaven and everywhere else in our lives. So